Is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, we are rolling. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in the mornings on Main Street, December 7th, 2021. Off and rolling on this. It's beautiful outside there. So if you haven't been outside to check out the weather, I'm telling you right now, it's beautiful. It's a 180 from yesterday when it was in the morning was really bad and nasty and everything. So everybody stayed safe. And today's going to be a wonderful, beautiful day to get you off and running on this Tuesday. As we do every morning this time, let's bring in the intern. Good morning, intern. How are you? And another location again. Where are you now?
No, so I decided to hang out in this spot for a little bit.
Okay. Undisclosed location, right?
Sort of an island.
Okay. That's what I tell people when you listen to this, intern. Our band in the corner over there every morning. You guys do a fantastic job, man. Got it. There we go. Good job. Yeah.
They always do it right on time.
Tommy and Cindy and Luis, right? And the boys and the men and women over there do a great job.
I love it when Dev comes in and plays the triangle.
Fantastic. So anyway, I tell people when they always ask where I'm from, always some parts unknown, like a wrestler, and always gets them like, what? I'm like, parts unknown. And
when you go wrestle?
It accuses it confuses everyone that's around that's doing it. So anyway, fun show today. Intern, you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Don't forget, at the end of the this first segment, we will do our comic strip of the day.
I was going to say, I'm ready for that.
It's High and Lois is the comic strip. I've never heard of that comic strip.
Yeah, me neither. What's your favorite comic strip?
Beetle Bailey. He's all, and Ziggy. I mean, Ziggy, will you ever win? I mean, that's the thing. And Beetle Bailey's such a goof. Although it scares me, he's in the military.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a soldier. So, I mean, I just hope he's not like all soldiers, because soldiers are fantastic.
Right.
But Beetle Bailey's is always up to something, isn't he?
I'd like to think he got there on prominence. So. Yeah,
well, you hope so. He's always getting that sergeant upset. So all that stuff. All right, before we do anything else, let's bring up this morning. Did I share the screen correctly? I think I did, right? Is that right there?
Mm-hmm.
Pearl Harbor. 80 years ago today. This is the website for Hawaii. Hawaii. 80 years ago today, Pearl Harbor. 7:45 Hawaiian time. I think it's 11:45 our time. 80 years ago today, this happened. So we will never forget. And if you've never been to Hawaii, you've never been to the memorial, when you go, you need to go. It is life-changing. I'm not going to say a memorial is amazing, because it's, it's sad. It's very sad, but the tribute and the memorial, the Arizona Memorial right there, is something you need to see. It should be at the top of your list because it'll take your breath away. I lived there many, 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 many years ago. We drove by it every day, going from the North Shore down to Honolulu. And you see it over there. And to the right of that is Aloha Stadium. So if you've been, you know what I'm talking about. But 80 years ago, now, I'm a huge history buff. So we always talk about history on this show and things that are going on. So 80 years ago today, that happened, the attack on Pearl Harbor. Let's go to the other screen today for today's headlines with Main Street, Nashville. And did I share the screen right, intern? Did not.
Sir.
Wrong screen. Let me get the other screen over here. There we go. All right, so we'll get this up in mornings for your headlines. What's going on? See if we can do it this time. All right. We'll stop that one. And I am getting so good at this.
You are.
And is this the one? Yeah, there we go. All right. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, today, December 7th, 2021, another fantastic picture, Larry McCormick, the last days of fall. Let me tell you what, I hate leaves. You know why? Because it's a losing battle against leaves. Did you know that, intern?
It is. I don't like leaves because my parents would always make me rake them in my yard. It was the worst.
And then what happens an hour later?
They blow everywhere.
They're back again.
Yes.
So, I don't, it's just, it's worthless. And then if you don't do it, people are like, he's lazy, he'll do his leaves. Well, you do it. And then an hour later, here comes the next wave. It's like wave after wave after wave. It's just futile to do all that stuff. Or is it futile? Which one is it?
I think it's both.
Okay. All right. I like this. Community Foundation awards $2.7 million in grants. This is in today's Main Street, Nashville. You can get the e-edition delivered right to your inbox and on your phone. It's very, very cool to have all the information right there at your fingertips. And the foundation give the $2.7 million away. Grant recipients in Davidson County include Alive Hospice, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Middle Tennessee, Meharry Medical College, and Walden's Puddle. Good job there. Thank you so much for doing that. And right next to it, this is a great story by Vivian Jones. Norway spruce goes from nuisance to Metro's Christmas tree. I'm not going to give the story away for you, but here's a picture of our Christmas tree in downtown Nashville at the Public Square Park. The tree was donated by Barton House, a memory and assisted living facility in Bellevue. And the Davidson County Christmas tree lighting is December the 10th. You see right there. Friday 5:30. But the story of how they found the Christmas tree is really, really cool. And Vivian does a great job explaining about how the tree came to be with Metro and what they were looking for and all that. So I had no idea that's the process they go through looking for the Christmas tree. So it's a good little story this morning in Main Street, Nashville. Move over. Look at this, intern. We were on the forefront of this yesterday. New library design unveiled in Donaldson. To the right there is our friend.
What a guy.
Councilman Jeff Syracuse was on the show yesterday, but Lori does a much better job of explaining the Christmas tree, the library, than I did yesterday. So Lori Everett's story today in Main Street, Nashville, about the Donaldson Library and the Christmas parade that happened and everybody that came together to make such a wonderful, wonderful day for that. So that was really cool and good to see that. And again, Nashville banner. So the banner today is from 1956, 65 years ago, 15 years after Pearl Harbor happened in there. And so you can see some articles written 1956. See what's happening in Nashville at that time. I would pay money just for Main Street just to subscribe to this and see all the history that goes in and everything that's talked about. Senator Kennedy bows out of presidential races. That'd be John F. Kennedy when you read the article there. And so a lot of cool things happening. And let's go over one more thing here. We'll talk about what's happening tonight. A lot of people interested in the Nashville Predators because they are, where we go, NHL at a glance. Nashville Predators on the road again tonight, taking on Detroit. Now, remember, Detroit used to be in the division with the Predators. You'd see them 3 or 4 times a year would come to town, but now they moved to the other conference. So you only see Detroit twice a year, once up there and then once here. And so the Nashville Predators, not bad, man. They won an overtime on Saturday night, 4-3 against Montreal. And they're back tonight. They're on the road for a little while and be back next week in Nashville. So good luck to our Nashville Predators tonight as we do. All right, as we wrap up this segment, the first part of the show, we got a fun show for you today. We got Denise Baker from TDOT coming on. Their No Trash November was a massive success, and we're going to share that with you in just a few moments. But so we do the cartoon this morning, and The intern and I do a cartoon called High and Lois. Intern, are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right, playing the role of one mechanic is the intern. I'll be playing the role of the customer and the other mechanic, okay? High and Lois. I'd never heard of High and Lois. All right, intern, and scene.
We looked over your car, Mr. F.
What do you think? Have you considered donating it to charity?
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo.
All right. Hi, Lois. Oh, I'm not a fan though of what the garage is named, Joe and Bob, because if I ran a garage, I'd be completely honest with you.
I agree.
Oh my goodness. I hope our boss isn't watching that last segment. All right. We are off and running this morning on Mornings on Main Street. Miss Cheap joins us at 7:30. 7:40, we tell you about a cool toy drive happening right now at Nissan Stadium. 7:20, my good friend I used to work in TV with, Daphne Deloren, is going to join us. She's got a brand new project. I want you guys to know about that. But up next, No Trash November is over. It's a success. And we had a special person from TDOT to tell us how good it was. That's next. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Well, I came up with the name. We threw around some ideas, but I just, some people at the beginning said that they thought cheap had a sort of negative connotation, but I didn't. I wanted it to be fun. I didn't want it to be something that was like, a Spartan lifestyle that I was promoting. I wanted it to be that you could save money, but you could still have a quality life and have a good time.
For the same reason a beagle chases rabbits, it's in my blood. I started reading newspapers, Lydia, before I could read. When I was a little kid in Crossville growing up, my mom taught me to read at about 5 years old, so I would read the Crossville Chronicle, our hometown paper, and it was so exciting I'd wait on Thursday morning for the Chronicle to arrive. I've been fascinated by newspapers all my life. Since I was 5 years old, that's all I wanted to do.
Okay, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. A lot of great feedback on our role playing there, intern. So perhaps we should take it to the next level. And by a lot of great feedback, I mean no feedback as well. But we'll continue doing that, bringing you the cartoons. I know people that subscribe to Main Street Nashville just for the cartoons, and that's fantastic because I do the same thing. Last month, we had a lot of fun. No Trash November. Let's bring in Denise Baker with TDOT. Denise, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Tell me your title, because I was trying to write it down and fit it on one line, and I couldn't do it. Your title is?
I'm a Transportation Program Supervisor in the Highway Beautification Office. So I'm in charge of Adopt a Highway, our litter prevention program, as well as litter prevention grants across the state of Tennessee.
Can that fit on a business card?
No, it doesn't.
I saw the highway beautification on the email, and I'm thinking, what a great that. I read that, I started smiling, and it's just because highway beautification makes me smile.
Yeah, well, we're the fun part of TDOT, I like to say. We don't necessarily build roads, but we keep them beautiful.
All right, No Trash November. Great success. I saw the email with the stats and the facts that came and everything. You got to be pleased with this.
We are overjoyed. Let me back up a little bit. So Nobody Trashes Tennessee is the state of Tennessee's official litter prevention campaign. And with the increased travel in November and December with the holidays, we thought of this initiative, No Trash November, to kind of make people aware of the litter issue in the state of Tennessee and kind of jumpstart on cleaning up our state.
Well done there. Thousands of volunteers. I mean, this was a massive project.
This was a huge, massive success. So we've had over 1,000 volunteers. We started with Tennessee State University student athletes from that campus, cleaned up areas of North Nashville. At that event on November 5th, we cleaned up over 2,000 pounds of trash. And across the state, we've cleaned up over 46,000 pounds of litter. And our goal was only 20,000. So we've doubled our goal. We've had over 1,000 volunteers and 56 cleanups across the state of Tennessee. And our first annual No Trash November.
I love 56 cleanup events because that means community and people getting involved. And I love that part. To me, that's the underrated part of these great stats.
Definitely. Our partners are passionate about keeping the state clean. So with the help of our Adopt a Highway groups and our Keep Tennessee Beautiful groups across the state, we were able to make that happen.
2,180 bags of litter. I don't know whether to be happy that you collected that much or be sad that you collected that much.
It's definitely a double-edged sword. I'm happy that our volunteers were able to do that. And that doesn't even include some of the larger items that were found, from car parts to tires to refrigerators and God knows what else that was out there. But yes, over 46,000 pounds of trash, including that 2,100 bags of litter was picked up across the state last month.
And that's amazing. And, we talk about No Trash November, but this, like you talk about, this is 24 hours, 7 days a week, 12 months a year. Not just make sure our roads are clear in November, but this needs to go on every day, all year.
Yes, at any given time in the state of Tennessee, there are 100 million pieces of litter on Tennessee roadways. And TDOT spends $19 million annually just picking up that litter. So we are grateful for our volunteers and their assistance and their community pride in helping us pick up litter in the month of November. But it just doesn't stop there. We have Adopt a Highway groups that people can join. So if you're interested in adopting a highway, if you've seen the Adopt a Highway signs across our state, come join our movement. Come adopt a highway. Come participate in a cleanup and help build this momentum. What we have found that people who pick up litter are less likely to litter. I think it's an issue that everyone can agree upon.
Absolutely. I love this. Here's a frustrating part, Denise. This doesn't have to happen because litter just doesn't show up by itself. I mean, somebody has to actually throw it out the window and put it on the ground.
Yes, well, there's intentional litter and unintentional litter. But yes, the intentional litter irks my nerve. And if you see someone littering intentionally, say that fast 5 times, we have a litter hotline and you can call those folks in and we will send them information about why not to litter and encourage them to no longer litter on our Tennessee roadways.
Oh, that is interesting, Nick. 'Cause I see people littering and I yell at them, and I probably shouldn't do that.
Well, can I give you the number to call instead
Sure.
of yelling at them? Because we don't want road rage on our Tennessee roadways either. They can call 877-8-LITTER.
Oh, that's simple. Even I can remember that.
877-8-LITTER, or you can even Google, Bing, or whatever search engine you use, litter hotline TDOT, and it'll pop up, and you can even type in the information on your smartphone or on your computer.
Oh, that is beautiful. Is it? And I've told TDOT is so underrated. What you guys do for highways throughout Tennessee. Is it frustrating for you though when you are not Denise at work, but you're just driving home and you see that on the side of the road? Because I think that would drive me bananas.
It irks my nerve. Before I was even in this position, my boyfriend, who is now my husband, threw a toothpick out the window and it almost ended our relationship. So now he no longer litters either. And I have this awesome job to encourage people across the state not to litter as well.
Oh, that's great. What's next on y'all's agenda? Will we do this again next year around November, or do you have something before that you're going to roll out?
Well, in the spring, we have the Great American Cleanup. So we'll be partnering with Keep Tennessee Beautiful on that. And this was such a success that we want to do it again next November. The weather in Tennessee is beautiful in November, and it's just a great time to bring awareness to the litter issue in the state.
Again, 46,000 pounds of litter collected, more than 1,000 volunteers, 2,180 bags of litter, 50. I really love this, Denise. 56 cleanup events. Again, getting the community involved. Great job. I think you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for taking time. And I'm so glad it was a success because awareness is the key.
Yes, awareness is definitely the key. If you see litter, pick it up because nobody trashes Tennessee.
Yes, good job. Denise, thank you. Have a great Tuesday.
Thank you, Joe. Have a good day.
Yes, ma'am. All right, Denise Baker from TDOT. What a great job and a great thing they do to make sure our state is beautiful. Thank you so much, Denise. All right, we come back, another very special guest, a dear friend of mine. You're going to love her story. You're going to recognize her name. You're going to recognize her voice. You're going to recognize her face. But what she's done in the last few years since leaving TV is amazing. And we'll talk to Daphne Deloren. That's next. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Dental coverage may be a small investment, but it has big benefits because dental coverage and preventive oral care leads to more than a healthier smile. It leads to a healthier life overall. Delta Dental makes it easy to get the care you need. With the nation's largest network, you're more likely to find or keep a dentist you love. And with comprehensive coverage and additional discounts, you'll have benefits you love too. Make a lasting investment in your oral and overall health with coverage from Delta Dental. Visit deltadentaltn.com to learn more.
Hey, Toby. Toby knows comfort, whether day or night. Through the highs and the lows, Toby knows. You've put it off long enough. That old system is just out with the old, in with the new. We'll make it worthwhile all the way through. Dairyberry is your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Visit dairyberryac.com today and schedule a visit. Dairyberry Heat and Air, making customers for life.
Yeah, look at that. Music. Welcome back into Mornings on Main Street. You hear that? Enough of that right there. All right, let's waste no time. Bring in who I think is one of the most fantastic, intelligent, smart, fun, everything in the world you can imagine, and a great person. Daphne Deloren joins us this morning. Hi, Daphne.
Hi, good morning. Can you see me?
Yes. Oh, my goodness. I haven't seen you in person in so long, but it's so good to see you.
It's been what, 5 years?
It has
Not
been
that long. Maybe
3.
Okay.
3. Yes.
But 5 years since we worked a show together, probably.
That's right. It's been a while. So it's good to see you.
It's good to see you. Thank you for having me this morning.
Absolutely. And look, we're going to talk about, you took this massive, you were working in TV, doing a great job, and you took a massive leap of faith to leave something that you knew well to become a mom and to become a wife. And it has paid off fantastically for you. Is that a good way to put it?
Yes. It was actually a terrifying move. I know you and I had a couple of deep life talks before I left. But it was kind of like everything fell into place at one moment. Like I love the weather. That was my dream, to forecast weather, to tell a family of 4 of what they can expect this weekend, But then I just started like feeling the stir in my heart of just watching so many people live this robotic life, Like I would watch people at the grocery store, even at work, just dreading Sunday or dreading Monday, counting down till Friday, just to drink the whole week away. I mean,
right.
Let's be real. If we could be a little real here. And so something about that felt really off to me. I said, we have one life and God gives us this precious life that's a gift. And if we're counting down our life away, living robotically, like what's the point, And I just had this change of heart of helping people overcome limiting beliefs. And that's really what's in the way of us pushing go on areas of life that we really feel authentic to ourselves. So yeah, I was terrified to leave, but I couldn't not listen to that. And so I took that message and started a podcast called A Drop of Sunshine, how to live with purpose, how to not count down, all that stuff. And then started speaking on it, life coaching. And yeah, it's been really cool. And even though it was terrifying at the time, I know, I should say without a doubt in my mind, that was the right move.
We have your podcast screen up right there next to you, and I've listened to them. And I again, we're close friends, and I loved working with you.
Right.
But your podcast were on another level, Daphne. They were really good. They were funny. They were informative, and they motivate. They would inspire, like what you're just talking about. Like you don't have to be stuck in a rut. We have the opportunity to change our lives, and we can do it with the good Lord's help. And you got that message across all the time, and it was really good. And I read the reviews. You helped so many people that had to be so rewarding.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the weather was always rewarding to me, but if we can get on a heart level, you know what I mean? If I can be a little bit more raw and real, and maybe share, something in my past that is vulnerable, but if that can help you, that's so much more fulfilling than just the weather, which is honestly hard to admit that because I love the weather and that was my dream. And I still love it. It's still a passion of mine. You better bet every time we have storms, my husband and I, we are tracking away.
Right.
But yeah, I think you nailed it. When you are living your purpose, it's so fulfilling. And I think like so many people are stuck in this place of trying to be someone that maybe not be authentic to who they're actually supposed to be. Maybe it was like what your mom said you should be when you grow up, or some comments, some words that had power over you when you were younger, and now you can't live your full potential and your full purpose because of that. But if you can catch that and then figure out how to overcome that, how to overcome limiting beliefs, because we all have that. Every one of us struggle with limiting beliefs every day. I have to push mute on it. If you can learn to do that, your life will just flourish. And that's what it's all about.
You were the first people when I left our previous life to come to my new wonderful life.
Our old life.
Yeah. You were the first people I texted and said, "Hey, here's what I'm doing." And you responded back with, "Oh my God, you're going to feel such a relief. It's going to be amazing." And you were 100% correct, my friend.
I wish I could hug you through this camera. Yes. I think that it's such a lesson there. Like the biggest breakthrough in our life is just on the opposite side of like just fear, or, I remember that feeling of just being terrified. Like you have, what if I fail? What if I can't, support my family enough, or all these things? But like, what if you replace that with, what if I succeed? And what if I, thrive? And what if I change people's lives? And if you can train your mind to do that, then you don't live in fear. And fear and faith, they're both invisible. Fear is what? The possibility it won't happen. And faith is the possibility that it will. And they're both invisible. So why not pick faith, right?
Beautiful. I mean, exactly right there. All right. So you're also, we got your podcast up there, and people can go and find the podcast, but you're also doing something that I found real cool, is that you're teaching women how to speak in public. Is that correct?
Yes. So I got this in my heart when I started to hear so many of my friends, or even, viewers on my Facebook page, when they would just open up and share their story. I'm like, wow, like, this is such a powerful story. Like, I can think of 10 people right now that could really benefit from your story, but people are afraid to share their story. They're afraid to be vulnerable, or they don't really know how to craft it. Which actually I have right here. I basically put together a framework. This is just, I guess I'm kind of giving away a little bit here, but I put together a framework of how to take your unique story and turn it into one of impact. Like, how do you impact? How do you even craft your story to put it out into the world, whether you're talking one-on-one with somebody or on a stage? So how do you impact through your story, but also get paid what you're worth. So how to find gigs, who looks for gigs, who would resonate with your story. And basically from, hair, makeup to confidence to camera to wardrobe to everything. I put together a step-by-step course walking women through that and to learn from my mistakes, because it takes a long time with a lot of mistakes to get to where we are. And I basically just took my 5 to 10 years of internships and working on television and took all of that information. And then after I left TV, that information of how you find speaking engagements and put it together in a one place, one-stop shop, if you will, into that course.
How do people find it? How do they get in touch with you? How do people get in touch with you?
Okay, so I literally just took my website down for a little bit of construction. But if you email me, Daphne@daphnedeloren.com, or if you go to my Facebook page or Instagram, you can kind of slide in my DMs and I'll find you there.
Daphne@daphnedeloren.com. Love it. And I love what you're doing to empowering women, because you're right. Public speaking and where to go and what to do and what to say is overwhelming if you don't do it every single day. And the fact that you're willing to help and put them on the next level is fantastic, Daphne. I just think it's great. And I'm so proud of what you're doing. And I'm so proud of the leap of faith that you've done. And by the way, folks, if you don't know, she has the 2 cutest little boys, I think, on planet Earth. And I'm not kidding with this.
Oh, I'm biased. I would agree, but I'm their mom. Hey, and you met Nash too back in the day. Remember, I used to take him to the station on the weekends when we worked weekend evenings, and he'd always run into your office, and he's had a couple accidents there.
That's all right, though. He was a good boy, and you're lucky I didn't kidnap that good boy, because
I know.
he's so awesome. We'll do this more. We'll have you on more and more, and keep spreading the positive word, Daphne. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, for having me this morning.
Yes, ma'am. Daphne Deloren. Again, Daphne@daphnedeloren.com for more information on that. If you're really struggling with speaking and not sure what to do on that, reach out. I'm telling you, reach out to her. She will help you. All right, we'll come back, take a break. Tuesday, 7:30. Time for Miss Cheap. That's next.
Every year, it costs Tennessee more than $15 million to clean up roadside litter. It's time to keep your trash to yourself and our roadways clear, because nobody trashes Tennessee.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey. I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
Is your roof in need of repairs? Maybe it's time for a full roof replacement. If so, choose Middle Tennessee's #1 rated roofer. Tim Leeper Roofing has provided the Nashville area with outstanding residential and commercial services for nearly 2 decades. And with hundreds of 5-star reviews, Tim Leeper Roofing has satisfied thousands of homeowners. To schedule a free and honest estimate, find us online at timleeperroofing.com.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to a fun show we're having this morning on Mornings on Main Street. Many thanks to Daphne Deloren as well for joining us. We'll later today, we'll put all those segments on our YouTube channel. You can see everything right there that goes on. All right. It's one of our best times of the week. Let's bring in Miss Cheap, as we do every Tuesday. There she is. Good morning, Miss Cheap.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. And I also love, this is the today's story you have in Main Street is one that you absolutely, I'm not going to speak for you, but I am. you love the story today about the Tuba Christmas.
You know, this is one of my favorite holiday events. I've been going to it probably for 20 years. It's been at different locations through its 35-year history in Nashville, but it's 100 tubas playing Christmas carols. I mean, 100 tubas.
And here it is. Tuba Christmas is back. I read the article. I love the article, but tell people what it is and why you love it so much.
Well, the tuba players, the 100 tuba players, and you never know exactly how many there'll be, but they're everybody from the 5th grade band, middle school band players to some of them are in their 80s and 90s, and some of them have been professors of euphonium at Vanderbilt at the Blair School of Music. I mean, they're very accomplished, but all of them play together, and they don't have but one rehearsal. It's the morning of the show, of the concert. And they play the Christmas carols, and they play it through once, and then they do a sing-along. So if that doesn't get you in the Christmas spirit, I just don't know what will.
Why has this throughout the years been so wonderful? And, and I know all about it because I covered it from the TV part of this, but why do you think it's still year after year after year, people just show up and want this so badly?
Well, I start getting calls and emails about it, months ahead, and they didn't do it in person last year. So I think people are eager to see it in person. They're having it at Nashville First Baptist downtown, which has a beautiful sanctuary, and they've been so gracious to let Tuba Christmas be performed there every year for the last, probably 10 years. But it's about a 45-minute concert, and it's very comfortable there in the church to hear the music. It's a fun event, and it's all ages. People bring their grandchildren and children, and there are a lot of elderly people, a lot of, it's just a lot of fun. A lot of downtown workers come because they can walk there from their offices. It's a real Christmassy kind of thing. And in the last few years, they've let us, for the penny drive, collect afterward for Second Harvest. The concert itself is free, so you don't have to pay anything. But people have been very generous. They've let us, bring buckets, and after the concert, people, drop in some change or some bills or a check or whatever they want to. So that's been a good way for me to promote the penny drive that we're right in the middle of too. So it combines two of my favorite things at once.
Yes, I love it. We have on the screen next to you, we have the penny drive information on the penny drive that's happening. And God bless you for doing this, because as we've talked about, and I tell you every time, I believe people should have the right to eat every single day. Everybody should have the right to eat. And I see how the money you've raised for Second Harvest. And when you read I know we'll get back to the Tuba Christmas in a second, but when you read, Miss Cheap, all the millions you've raised for this, is it a little bit overwhelming?
Well, people have been so generous. And I think the beauty of the penny drive is that it's not a big ask, that it's the kind of thing that, it's a great project for kids or for anybody who wants to give back, who, maybe doesn't have a lot of money. Because Second Harvest can provide 4 meals for every $1 donated. And right now there's a match going on, so you can even double that. So it really means that your dollar goes a long way. So I think it's one of those things that I think if people are having a holiday party, let's say, and if they ask people to bring something for Second Harvest, it just opens the door for people to be able to do something. I think all of us want to do something at Christmas to help others in the community. And if the ones who are hosting or the ones who are leaders can open the door for people to do that, they do it. We had a sing-along for Second Harvest with just some of our neighbors, and I can't tell you how many of them afterwards said, "Thank you for doing this. We wanted to do something at Christmas, and we weren't sure, exactly what to do." So I was able to open the door for them to give some money to Second Harvest and help feed some of these hungry neighbors. So it's a good way to help others.
I love it too. And I also love the fact that we've done a couple of events together, and you've always put in the email, "Hey, is it okay if I put and talk about the penny drive up there?" Because this is just not something that pops up, once a year for you and you do one thing and all that. This is your passion. I know saving money, all that's your passion, but personally, I think this is fantastic, and you're always willing to share and talk about this penny drive.
Well, I love the penny drive. It's just been one of my favorite things to do, and it's one of the reasons that I decided to write for Main Street, because Main Street was so enthusiastic about supporting Second Harvest and letting me do the penny drive. I needed a platform, after I retired from the Tennessean, and this has been just perfect because Main Street has been so supportive and excited about it too. So it's one of those. It's one of those things. The penny drive is not just one day. It's all the time, and it's one of those things that, when you see like the students at BGA Middle School or the students at the Episcopal School of Nashville getting excited about it. My grandson's daycare center at Belmead Methodist, they put pennies and change into a big pig, and for them, it's a good opportunity to talk about hunger with children and let children know that they can make a difference too, that it's not just grown-ups with big checkbooks, that anybody can help. And they say that 1 in 8 children, 1 in 7 people in Middle Tennessee is at risk of hunger, which means they don't know where their next meal is coming from. And, somebody told me, so, well, if 1 in 7 is at risk of it, that means that the rest of us can do something about it. So here we are, I think that's a great way to look at it.
Plus, with your grandson, I mean, in learning them at an early age, I did it with my kids as well. I mean, just you give and, you teach them how to give and what it means, and what you get back is so much more than what you give. And so I just think any chance we could do that at a younger age, it pays off in the end, just like you're doing with your grandson.
Well, I think so too, and I think these schools embracing it are it's a good leadership quality for these kids to see that they can do that. And it's fun, it's fun to raise money. If you want something done right, ask a 5th grader to do it. Boy, those kids at BGA are just something else.
That is so fantastic going on. I also love the fact that we've been spotlighting a lot of these events around town with Christmas lightings and parades and everything, and it's just so good, Ms. Cheap. And I know to go to a parade costs nothing, Christmas tree lighting costs nothing, but to see neighbors and friends and all that together at this event, last year we didn't have it, it means so much, and I know you understand what that is.
Well, I do. And to hear all these voices singing too, and also, if you haven't heard Jingle Bells or Joy to the World on a tuba, you're in for a treat. I'm telling you. Right. G.R. Davis has done this. He taught euphonium at Vanderbilt forever. And he's headed up this tuba Christmas ever since it came to Nashville. And he was, in fact, in part of the original tuba Christmas somewhere else. And he is very passionate about it. And one of the funniest songs in it is Carmen Sanders sings All Santa Wants for Christmas is a Tuba. And it's made for G.R. Davis, I'll tell you that.
I love it. All right, so let's people know it's not today. It's December. It's a week from today, December 14th, downtown, and it's free.
Right, and it's at Nashville First Baptist at the corner of 7th and Broadway. And parking might be a little bit of a problem. There is parking at the church. You might want to come a little bit early. They're going to have a Dixieland band before it starts. It starts at 11, but before that, they'll have a Dixieland band playing some music. And that, you could park at Music City Center or some other places, but it's worth going to for sure.
I love it. And before, real quick, we talked last week about the penny drive and where cans are. I mean, they're everywhere. They're usually up front by the register. So make sure you double check if you want to donate, correct?
Right. And Wilson Bank and Trust and Pinnacle Bank have some cans or some stickers, or you can make your own can. But both of those banks will accept the collection that you make. Like if you want to make a can or a jar and put it in your business or your home and you want to turn it in, you can turn it in at either one of those banks at any branch and they'll take care of it. So they've been wonderful partners in this.
Beautiful. Ms. Cheap, as always, it's one of our highlights each week having you on here. Appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Well, I hope I'm going to see you at Tuba Christmas, Joe.
Yes. I'll absolutely be there.
That's
next
right.
Tuesday.
That's right. Next Tuesday.
All right. See you there. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks so much.
She's supposed to stay cheap.
Stay cheap.
Yeah. Yes. All right. That just made my day. All right. Thank you, Ms. Cheap. Thank you, Winter. I will come back. There's a cool event happening downtown right now that is helping families and senior citizens have a great Christmas. And we're going to tell you about it with a very special guest. That's up next. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
When they first came in, one of the things we put in is if you walk around the concourse, you'll see there's an area that's the Delta Dental Kids Zone. Mm-hmm. And that's been there pretty much since the Preds opened for business. And so that's one of the things. But, if you look at, in our case, how do we match up with charities that have value across the state? And then the other thing is how do we match up with partners that are true community partners? And if you look at what the Preds give back to the community and the things they do for kids all over, how do you match up with a better partner than in the Nashville area than the Preds? I mean, it's hard to beat them, really. And entertainment-wise, it's hard to beat them just showing up to the game. I mean, it's almost an assault on your senses.
It isn't.
It's Vegas and everything else rolled into one with lights and cameras and everything going. So,
but you've got such a good partnership with them that when I think of the Preds, I almost think of Delta Dental because of everything you guys do with them.
Yeah, we would love to know that that's the way people think. If everybody walks through the door thinks, well, you know, who is their partner? The first partner I want to think of is Delta Dental.
All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Great show today. So thankful for all of our guests that join us each and every day. And we've got another fantastic guest next. Let's bring in Angie Scott from the Freedom Boat Club. Angie, it's so good to see you. We did TV together about a year and a half ago. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, hey, Joe. Thanks for having me this morning. Hopefully my internet's good. I'm here at Nissan Stadium. So
you look great. You sound great.
Oh, good.
It's all good. Yes. All right. Freedom Boat Club. What are you guys doing today? I know what you're doing, but I want you to tell the audience what you're doing because I love it.
Yeah, we're here at Nissan Stadium all day until 6 o'clock tonight, collecting toys for the Salvation Army's toy field and also gifts for seniors too. So if you have a donation, just swing by. There's boxes right out on the street here outside of I think we're at gate 1. So super easy to find and easy to donate. Just drop off a toy. We've got one of our new ATX surf boats out here. We want to fill the boat with toys as well as the toy field here.
I love it. You had me when I got the note yesterday you guys were doing this. I love the fact that you're doing for kids, but I love the fact that you're also doing this for seniors, Angie, because a lot of times they are forgotten about, and the fact that you guys are making this a priority, I love it.
Yeah, we had a little toy drive the other night out at Hop Springs, and several people brought gifts for seniors, and that was really good to see. Just simple things with some isotoner slippers and some blankets as well. So
just simple things. And I'm glad you're doing this. Why Freedom Boat Club? Why was it important for you guys to get involved in this?
Well, we've been here in Nashville since 2016, and new owners came on board in 2020, and we just want to be able to contribute to the community. We're just really grateful to be in Nashville and Middle Tennessee. We've got 5 locations here now, and hopefully adding some more locations going into next year. And we just want to give back to the community. It's important to us.
I think it's fantastic. And I know we're not on here to talk about you, but we're going to talk about you because you are a legend in the field. I don't want to say the field of fishing. That kind of dumbs it down, but for somebody ignorant like I am, but you are, would we call it a legend in the world of fishing? Is that okay?
I don't know about that, Joe, but no, I when we met, we talked about this when we were did television a year and a half or so ago at the Nashville Boat Show. But I host a podcast called The Woman Angler and Adventurer, and the goal of the show is to share stories of women who are doing awesome things in the outdoors, and just try to inspire other women to get more involved. And it's growing. It's really making an impact. Women are the fastest growing segment of the fishing industry right now. And so I think it's important to give them a platform to share their stories and inspire others and continue the growth.
I totally agree. All you can do is walk around Bass Pro Shops and half the people there, I mean, it's half are women.
Yeah. And it didn't used to be that way. And so it's great to see that changing. I'm originally from Minnesota, and it's a little bit of a different culture here in Tennessee than in Minnesota. Growing up, it was kind of a family activity. You'd see a lot of families going out fishing, so seemed to be more women involved. Whereas here, it's mostly the guy going out fishing by himself. But now, as I look around our area lakes, I'm seeing a lot more women out by themselves or with their husbands, and so I think the tide is changing.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And seeing you at the boat show and people talking to you, come up and recognizing you, I thought that was very cool because, again, we had a guest on earlier who took a leap of faith. Here you are, moved from Minnesota down here, where you try to change the culture, and bit by bit by bit, in such a positive, good way, Angie, it's happening, and that's got to be a great feeling.
It is, and I kind of took another leap of faith this year. I joined the Women's Pro Bass Tour to fish competitively on a professional level, and so that was an interesting experience, a learning experience. But I'm excited to do it again in 2022.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Again, that's a leap of faith doing that. All right, we're talking about the toy field going on today till 6:00 tonight, correct?
Correct. Yep. Absolutely. Come by. It's super easy to drop off donations for kids or seniors, and we will be super appreciative.
But you're from Minnesota. You don't mind the cold weather, do you?
Actually, I've been here for like 21 years now, and I'm pretty acclimated to the warmer weather. So I'm getting ready to head down to Florida at the end of this week, and I can't wait.
Oh, very good. It's funny because I told somebody you were coming on today, and they said, ask her what the best lake is to fish in Tennessee. And my reply was, all of them.
Yeah, Tennessee's great. I love Percy Priest just because that's where I'm at. It's close to Nashville, and that's mostly where I go out. But I've fished several lakes in Tennessee, and they've all been just wonderful. Bass fishing. I personally, if I had to give my favorite, I love Lake Normandy. And the reason for that is because I grew up fishing walleye up in Minnesota, and there's walleye in Normandy, and I kind of know where to catch them. So there's no walleye in Percy Priest, unfortunately.
That's great. I was going to say that the old bumper sticker is a bad day on the lake beats a good day in the office. Is that right?
That's absolutely correct.
Something like that. Will you be there all day?
Something like that, yeah. I will be here most of the day today, but we'll have other Freedom Boat Club people here until 6:00. So, happy to, like I said, accept any donations, talk to folks, and look forward to meeting everybody.
Angie, God bless you for doing this, and thank you for what you're doing for fishing, and thanks for taking a whole day out to do this and make sure kids and families and senior citizens have a decent Christmas. I cannot thank you enough.
Oh, absolutely. It's our pleasure. We're happy to have the opportunity to be able to do this. So thank you for having me on, and everything that you do as well.
Yes, ma'am. You got my number. Anything you need, you want to talk about, drop me a line. We'll put you on immediately. Thank you, Angie.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Joe.
All right. Angie Scott today from Freedom Boat Club at the Toy Drive at Nissan Stadium, going until 6:00. And they just talked about pull up, unwrap toy, gloves, socks, whatever it is. Every bit of that will be appreciated. And we're so happy to promote positivity and all the hyper local stuff that's happening right in our very backyard. So God bless you, Angie. And thank you in so many ways. All right. We'll take a break and come back. You know what it's time for, don't you? It's time for, hold on, celebrity birthdays. That's next. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. How was that? That fast part, the end felt rushed. I'm going to do it one more time, Claire. Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. Ooh, how was that? Claire, that sound about right? It felt good to me. She feels me. Nobody trashes Tennessee on my watch.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Cover your head, sir. Where you are right now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, job band over there. Welcome back to the final segment of Mornings on Main Street. Time for celebrity birthdays. Again, thank all of our guests this morning. Denise Baker from TDOT, Daphne Deloren with the daily, I got her down, A Drop of Sunshine, her podcast, Miss Cheap with the Tuba Christmas next week, and Angie Scott at the Freedom Boat Club and the Toy Drive at Nissan Stand today. Thank you all for joining us. I really appreciate it. Now it's time for celebrity birthdays. Intern, you did well yesterday. You kicked Goolsby's butt.
I did. I feel pretty good about that.
All right, so here we go. You ready for today?
Yes.
All right, the first birthday of celebrity birthdays today is Ellen Burstyn. How old is Ellen Burstyn?
Does she? Let's say 48.
She is 89 years old. Sorry. I apologize. You're getting
great.
all right. Oh, my goodness. Singer Sarah Bareilles. Sarah Bareilles. Bareilles.
36.
No. She's 42. All right, we got this. Country singer Gary Morris. He sings "You're the Wind Beneath My Wings."
51.
He is 73 years old.
Not even close.
Actor Patrick Fabian. He's from Better Call Saul. He's the lawyer. Yeah. He was also in Saved by the Bell. He was something with Mr. Belding. He was a substitute teacher or something. By the way, Mr. Belding is from Chattanooga on Saved by the Bell. Is he really? Yeah, Dennis Haskins. Nice. How old is Patrick Fabian?
56.
Yeah. 57 years old. Nice. Well done.
Have you seen his movie?
C. Thomas Howell. He was in The Outsiders. Was in Soul Man.
68.
Remember, there's a rhyme and reason to this show for what we do. He is 55 years old. Okay. Rapper Con Artist of D12.
Oh, that's Eminem's band. Let's say 49.
He's 47 years old. Well done, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Okay, don't guess these birthdays. These are people they consider celebrities. All right.
Okay.
Singer Frankie J, country singer Sonny Sweeney, actor Shirley Appleby, actor Jack Houston. No. All right, here's another one for you. Actress Jennifer Carpenter. She's Dexter's sister in the TV show Dexter.
They just rebooted that.
And she's from Louisville, too. So Jennifer Carpenter.
38.
She's 42 years old. Come on, man.
Yeah, I know.
All right, you got three more.
Let's do it.
Linguist Noam Chomsky. Now think about the names here. Noam Chomsky.
That whole sentence was kind of confusing. So linguist, like a language person?
I guess so.
Okay. I became a celebrity being a language person. That's pretty impressive.
You do it.
Let's say 54.
93.
Oh my God.
Baseball Hall of Famer Johnny Bench, catcher from Cincinnati Reds.
He's probably 62.
You've gotten 2 today. Last one before we go. This is going to make me feel really old. It's going to make Papa intern feel old. A lot of people. How old is Larry Bird today? NBA legend.
Ooh. 71.
Larry Bird is 65 years old.
Try to do deductive there, but
I'm not. You regress from yesterday. All right, take care of yourself. Get off the screen. I'm mad. Thank you. I get upset. I'm getting a little choked up here. All right, thank you again. We'll post all the clips on YouTube. Mornings on Main Street. Find the YouTube channel. Everything's there for you. We'll have a lot of fun. Another fun show planned for you tomorrow. As we leave you every day with this, as I'm getting upset, I'm getting choked up because he did a terrible job, and I want him to do well, and he's doing terrible. We leave you with this. Be nice, everybody. Let people in traffic open doors. Nobody cares about your CrossFit workout unless you're raising money for a good cause. And always remember this. Nobody ever went broke by giving. We'll see you tomorrow.